family. Vicki Dillard here. So pleased to be a contributor here on African Diaspora News Channel. Make sure that you give us a big thumbs up, like, and share this broadcast. Thank you so very much. Now, family, I don't know if you've heard about the multiple brouhahas that Kanye West has been in. I've certainly have discussed some days back. He and Candace Owens' little ridiculous stunt of wearing these White Lives Matter shirts and all this kind of stuff. And the stuff just continues. Kanye has been in the news recently because he was calling out certain religious industry folk and forces. Talk black to me, somebody, that he says have been taking advantage of our people. And so because he has been speaking out against them folks, we're going to call them, he has been receiving a whole lot of backlash. And he, at one time, believes now that maybe he used some inartful language to describe something, even though he certainly didn't mean any harm by it. But he backtracked a little bit on that. But what's interesting is, family, when he was endeavoring to bring clarity and to express why he was doing some of the things he was doing and why he was calling out what he considers to be predatory forces in the entertainment industry, the music industry, and so forth, you had an interesting confession by Breakfast Club's Charlemagne the God. Now, just to give you a little bit of backstory, Kanye, because he was being shut down from going on certain mainstream platforms, he went on this very popular Drink Champs podcast. If you don't know about them, you can look them up, but they have, they're a pretty popular podcast group. So Ye, and I should call him Ye because he wants to go by Ye now. Ye wanted to, he decided to go there without any restrictions on what he has to say. So prior to him coming on, Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club makes a call to the Black co-host of Drink Champs and says this. Watch this clip.
Tried to do was give hip-hop culture a voice, but the reality is he don't need that right now. That's not what we should be giving a voice to right now. That we shouldn't have had Kanye on the platform to begin with. Not at a time like this with the rhetoric that he's spewing. Nah.
Well, yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I really did try. I tried to give him a voice. I tried to give him a voice. I tried to give him a platform. I tried to do that. But, I realized my political stance may not be correct. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, my brother.
Did you see that confession? Let me tell you something, family. We do not believe in disrespecting any group of people. You all know that Black folks in America are considered to be the sweetest, kindest, most empathetic, sympathetic people on the planet. You all know we are known for doing nonviolence. We are permitted our open enemies' dogs to bite the breast of our mothers and the private parts of our fathers, to set them on fire, to spit in their face, to hose them down, to jail them, to imprison them, to set them up, all because they wanted to vote or use the same restroom facilities or go to the same school or eat in their restaurants. You don't know any other group of people that walk amongst their tormentors after hundreds of years and say, we forgive you, after they just mowed down our loved ones in a church before they were even buried. Talk black to me, somebody. So this notion that Black folks have this long history of disrespecting and wanting to take out a whole group of people, that doesn't exist among us in large numbers. That's not our nature. And while Ye made a whole bunch of crazy mistakes, he needs to stand on his own mistakes. He made his own bed. He must lie in it. But there must be a balancing point between some of the other truths that he told about predatory industry folks. Somebody talk black to me. And the fact that Charlemagne wanted to silence him is the problem that I have, because there's a lot of other back dealing that takes place with some of your Black looking people that's on these major platforms. So they do the dealings of members of the oppressive class for them, just like Charlemagne did. And if he did it one time, you can only imagine, or you certainly wouldn't be surprised if you find out he did it to a whole bunch of other people, because massa didn't like it. It is a problem when we're stopping each other. We hear from Black folks all the time talk about how networks and companies and how these different platforms don't give us proper representation. They put out false stereotypes of us. They try to silence us. They try to censor us. They try to punish us, demonetize us, and so many other things. But here you have over and over and over again your own so-called people in high places that's doing the back dealing to try to stop you from having your voice. Meanwhile, we find out that Tucker Carlson from Fox News had on Charlamagne. Had on Ye. He didn't get that kind of backlash. CNN's former CNN host, Chris Cuomo, had on Ye. He didn't get that same kind of backlash that Nore, the Black co-host of Drink Champs, got. And Nore was the only one that ended up apologizing for having him on, but you didn't hear anybody from Fox apologize or Chris Cuomo from formerly of CNN. Think about that. This is not just about what Ye said. I want you to see that there is your own people that's sometimes working behind the scenes to shut you down. Pay attention to that. Only so that they can have closeness or nearness to whiteness, so that they can get some extra bones and biscuits. That's the problem I'm talking about. I'm your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. The link is below, as well as my website. Join my email list at VickiPlanet.com. And of course, be sure to share this broadcast on African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so very much.
More Threads, a brand owned by a former teacher and Black American freedmen, use their apparel and more to teach hidden truths and Black American history. More Threads will address the lack of knowledge and negative images in our community. Check out www.morethreads.com to purchase our apparel, read thought-provoking blogs, and more. Sign up to have raw conversations and wear clothing that acknowledges, celebrates, and honors our lineage at www.morethreads.com.